Rational exponents. A square root finds the number that, when you multiply it by itself, equals a given value. Okay. A cube root would find the number that, when you multiply it by itself 3 times, is equal to a given value. Okay. So a root is kind of that idea that you're multiplying something by itself a certain number of times. And the index is a small number above the root. Okay, so here's a square root, looks like that. And really we use this so often that we just drop the number. But it should have a number right here. Okay, this is called the index. So if we take a cube root, that's going to be a 3 there. If we had a fourth root, it'd be a 4, and on to fifth, sixth, any other number of root that you would have. Okay, so that's what the index is. All right, and we're going to be working with fractional exponents. So we're going to be simplifying numbers that have a fraction as an exponent, and in this case the fraction is going to have a 1 in the numerator. Okay. All right. So a root, okay, whether it be a square root, cube root, any other kind of root, and a fraction as an exponent are actually the same thing. They're just different ways of writing it. All right. The denominator of the fraction, okay, so here I have 1/2, 4 to the 1/2 power. That denominator and the index are the same thing. Right? So if this is a square root, I might have a 2 there, or I might not have any number there. If I don't, it's assuming that it's a square root. Here I have 27 to the 1/3 power, so it's going to be a cube root, and my index is 3. Okay? Now, to solve these, you're generally going to be using a calculator, because once you get up to, sixth roots, even third roots become pretty hard to figure out without a calculator. But basically, you have your fractional exponent, okay, 64 to the 1/6, which is the same as the sixth root of 64. And then you're going to break that up into, well, 64 is actually 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's 2 to the 6th, then the number, when you multiply it by itself 6 times, that equals 64, is 2. Okay? Again, this process right here is going to be, and this as well, is going to be done by your calculator. All right? Anything greater than 2 gets really hard to figure out, and even 2, once you get to a reasonably high root, is difficult. Okay, it's easy to go forward. It's easy to say, okay, what's 2 to the 5th or 2 to the 7th? Well, I've just got to add another couple 2's that I multiply by. But trying to go backwards from a larger number becomes really complicated. Okay, and then here's another one, taking it to the 3rd power. So that's the 3rd root. And the 3rd root of 125, which is 5 times 5 times 5, is going to be 5. Oops.